Hello, EP2. Hello, computer and English majors, both sections of you. I hope you had an excellent 2 weeks together. I don't know if you were actually together. You were out looking at little kids, watching them learn and whatnot. And you got to see firsthand how schools are adjusting to what they call untact learning. It's a fun Konglish phrase, but it is a phrase nonetheless. I hope you came away with some practical knowledge and some quite useful knowledge as well that we can take back into our lessons that we're making. I hope you hope you haven't forgotten that we have our first video micro lesson about using the songs coming up, and I believe we recall that we've walked through parts of it. Don't forget, you need to make your own lesson plan for your 3-minute lesson. So obviously it's going to be rather short, but let's review very quickly about lessons. Well, that's not it. Goodness gracious. All right. Now this is in our book in the back. You can find it on the PDF form. Now this is just an example, and this is also quite helpful. We'll just see how the flow of the class can be. Obviously, for time, there's a difference between a 40-minute lesson and a 3 to 5-minute lesson. So you'll need to adjust for time and be faster. But the same basic steps are being taken. So I gave the example of the "Do you like broccoli? Do you like broccoli ice cream" song. If you remember the "Do you like broccoli? Yes, I do. Yes, I do," and so on and so forth. Before I forget, for much longer, there's no video. Professor John Cam this time. I'm recording this far ahead of schedule, and I need to make it fast. So video complicates things, as we all know. So just audio and desktop feed. So we'll see how it goes. It's easier to edit, to say the least. So remember, you'll need to put the learning object. What is the students going to be able to learn or do, and what material. So linking the song, and then basically what you're doing for each section and how much time. Now, obviously, remember, for your lessons, you'll need to have much shorter amounts of time. So truncate, and it doesn't need to be overly complicated, but it does need to exist. And sorry, I bring things up. Here is an example for another class, just to show I'm not expecting great detail for a 3-minute class. It's okay to be a bit bare bones, but it's important that you get the practice of making a lesson plan. It is important that we need to get into the habit of making lesson plans. And as you can see on the screen, this is not detailed at all. And this is what I made for an example lesson, a 3-minute lesson for EP1. So this is entirely possible. So it's okay to be a bit bare bones in that regard. With that, let's get into it. And today's main topic is giving instructions. Let's see. Okay. Three, 2, 1, start. Now, this is in our PDF. This is on page 70. 8 tips for giving effective instructions. Now, is what helpful for us to remember when we give instructions to especially young learners. We need to keep things simple, keep it easy to understand. And so when lesson planning, can think about how you're going to give instructions. Now, for your video lessons, obviously you're not giving instructions exactly, but you are explaining things. So try to keep things simple as you can, and that will help you stay focused. So here are some more tips. Let's check them out. 1, choose clear and concise words. Do not choose ambiguous words. Avoid words like about 3 people or other fuzzy language. Make sure you give enough time to give your instructions. Also remember, when you're giving instructions, it might take more time because students are students and kids are kids. You might need to explain another time or 2 times or 3 times, or you might need to explain 3 times 3 different ways to help everyone understand. Make sure everyone's paying attention, because having to explain it 2 times or 4 times because one kid wasn't listening the first 3 times, that's no good. Especially if you're dealing with more complex tasks, more complicated game. Also, remember, it helps to prepare verbal and written instructions to be ready with both. And also, so you have written instructions, verbal instructions, spoken instructions, and demonstrate what you're doing. You're going to demonstrate what the activity is, the game you're going to play. This helps everyone understand what they're supposed to be doing. And if there's confusion, which there usually is, there's often is, repeat the instructions again, but with different words. If they didn't understand the vocabulary the first time, they probably won't understand it the second time. So don't say the same words, use different ones if you can. Give the instructions step by step. Use depending on your students' levels, you can say first, second, third, fourth, fifth, or you can say number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. So the students are very clear on what they need to do in each step. If you say first, do this, and then, and then, and then. If you do it that way, the students will get confused upon the sequence of the steps, sequence of what they're supposed to do in order. They'll get confused about the order. Also, make sure to ask comprehension check questions. Make sure the students understand what the instructions were. You can ask, what's step number 3? And hopefully the students will be able to explain back to you what step number 3 is. That will help you better understand. That help you actually see if the students truly understand what the instructions are or what they're not. So biggest tip I can give you is, they call it KISS IT. Keep it super simple. Keep your instructions as simple as you can. Do not add too many steps, but make sure you have enough that the students can complete the task by following your instructions. If they follow your instructions and can't complete the task, then your instructions are not complete. But they need to be simple enough that they can comprehend and understand them. Make sure to break down your instructions into steps. Numbered steps is quite helpful. It's very helpful on what they need to do. Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5, step 6, 7, and 8, 9, 10. However many steps you need. Hopefully not 20 steps. That's quite a lot. Always demonstrate what you want the students to do so they can look, listen, and read what they're doing, and they can very accurately understand what they're supposed to be doing. And then also make sure that you check their comprehension by asking comprehension check questions, as you remember. Okay, let's practice. You have a homework. It's a small project, nothing too major. I'd like you to read pages 85, 87. I will double check on that, make sure that they're correct. And let's go back real fast. I'll use this in editing. For giving instructions, since we're all by ourselves, I'd like you to make a short video of you giving instructions on a simple task, a simple job, something that should take less than, less than 30 seconds to do. So, I don't want you to go overboard and give instructions on how to make, kimchi bokkeumbap. Even if it's easy, that's too much work. So I want you to think about a small task that you can explain and give instructions. This can be something as basic as how to open your umbrella, how to tie your shoes, how to tie your necktie. Actually, that's quite difficult. I found out a lot of students don't actually know how to tie neckties, but that's okay. How to cook an egg, how to fry an egg. So I'll write down on the assignments tab exactly what I like you to do, but you're going to make a short video just showing yourself giving instructions. So this will be practice for us. Because we can't do this in class, obviously, we must make adjustments. But I think this is a good compromise. I believe I mentioned before how I had wanted 3 video lessons. But looking it over, we have the song video lesson, and there'll be a storytelling video lesson, and I wanted a game video lesson, but I think the game video lesson is just too much and too difficult with all of us too far away. We can't play the games. So I think this giving instructions lesson would be quite helpful for us, and it's good practice for us as well. All right. So please make sure you do the reading. Everything will be written down in our class notes so we know exactly what we're supposed to be doing. I hope you've had a wonderful 2 weeks. I've missed you very much, and we'll see each other again next week. Thank you and goodbye.